All right, hey, I work for Tenjam Furniture, as you all know, and I love comparing pool products. Today, we have a Tupelo Goods Loop Chair. We're going to compare the Tupelo Goods Loop Chair to the Tenjam Freelo Chair, and then I also threw in a Tenjam Moon Chair and a couple of Tenjam side tables. So materials, these products are roto-molded. That's a plastic processing process, way to make the furniture, out of polyethylene. And polyethylene is a great product. UV stabilizers are added to it. The material goes into a pool. But the loop chair, as we look at it, it wasn't originally designed to go into a pool. And so we're going to look at how to fill it and how you have to fill it and empty it to use it in your pool. The Tenjam products, on the other hand, were designed to be in pool furniture from the get-go. So not only are they comfortable, but you're going to see they're very easy to put in the pool and take out of a pool. That's important if you want to utilize the furniture to have in the sun shelf for a little bit, move it around the sun shelf as the sun changes position, or just take it out and use it around the fire pit or in the backyard. So the Loop Chair by Tupelo and the Freelo Chair are very similar in size, similar in seat height, similar in length, width, height, etc. However, this chair, a delivered cost to a consumer today on this chair is $875. The Tenjam chair, similar in construction, well, actually identical in construction, different in design, retails for $499. That's a 42% difference in cost. So similar construction and design, but 42% more expensive. The Tenjam Moon Chair is much wider, armrest. This chair retails for $750, still $125 less than the Tupelo chair. So let's put the products in the pool. And today we're in a pool with 11-inch water depth. And that's important. We selected this pool because these two chairs here have a maximum water depth rating of 11 inches. So if we put them in water over 11 inches, you'll start seeing the front end of them bobbing up and down. And as that water gets deeper, they would eventually float. So with the Tupelo chair, let's start with this. It has a drain hole in the seat. So does the Tenjam chair. Very similar backrest profile. As we look in this chair, I have to fill it. And you'll notice on the bottom of the chair, there are no big portholes on the bottom of the chair. Instead, when we roto-mold furniture, there's these vent tubes that come out of the mold as the furniture's being processed. And we put a little black cap on that vent hole. That's what this product has in two spots. So there's two vent holes, and they just use a standard, call it a Christmas tree plug, a little flange plastic plug. But in order to fill this product, we have to get it into the pool, and we have to remove these two plugs. This is where the water is going to enter the chair, and when we take it out of the pool, this is where the water has to come out of the chair. So first thing, I need a flathead screwdriver, and you gotta get in here. You get that plug out. It's probably about maybe a half-inch hole is all, very small. Do that. Try not to bang the chair on the side of the pool. Polyethylene, this is kind of a softer material. I can already see just by taking out these little plugs that I've already started to scuff up or mar the product. The Tupelo product also has like a polished finish. And with the polished finish, you can see little scratches much easier than a finish like a Tenjam chair has, a shot peen finish it's called. So taking the plugs out of this chair, now the instructions are just to dip it in the water. And I have to essentially, this chair is gonna float if I don't fill it, but I have to fill up this chair to a level that's higher than this 11-inch pool water depth, because the water in the chair, once I get it higher than 11 inches, that's gonna act as weight to hold the furniture in place. So this chair, I have to go through this process of filling it through these two little half-inch plastic holes. So I'm just gonna press it down and just kind of weight this out. Now there's not much area for the water to get in, so it's gonna take a while to do this. And as I do this, I'll also let you know that you have to change the water in this particular chair. Well, Tupelo doesn't have any recommendation for how long, but I know from other manufacturers that have this type of design where you lock the water in the product, you have to do it every 2 weeks to every month. If you don't do that, algae will start growing inside the core of the chair. If that happens, you'll never get it out. Okay, so here you can see little bubbles coming out of there. So water is going in that bottom hole. And when you're doing this, make sure, it's nice to have a step to kind of stand on. A lot of people, it's just the tanning ledge straight down, and so I'd have to kneel on the tanning ledge and try to apply force to this product to hold it underwater as I'm filling it. With the Tupelo product, there was no fill instructions. It just said just pry the plugs in, fill it. I don't know how far they want me to fill it, but I know from doing this with a lot of pool furniture that you have to get that water in this chair above the pool water line, above that 11-inch water line. You can see this is definitely a process. And polyethylene is kind of a relatively soft material, so if you bang it on the pool steps, you bang it on the floor, it's going to scratch. And with this mirror finish or polish finish they have in this chair, you're going to notice all those little scuff marks. So let's just see if we're close. We are definitely not close. You can see the front end of this chair is still quite a ways off the bottom of the pool. So I have to stick at this for a little while longer. I'm going to get in the water further here. You can also notice on this chair lots of little like specks of dirt. You really notice it on this polished white surface. And Tupelo, they really position these chairs for the patio and in the pool. And a solid white is really hard to keep clean, just to let you all know. You'll see every little bug speck, every little leaf speck, every little dirt speck on this chair. So with this color, you'd have to wash it frequently. Now, Tenjam also makes a solid white color. So we know how hard it is to maintain because we make the same color. All right. Let's see if I'm any closer on this thing. So let's go back to tanning ledge. It's up a little bit. Probably just try to get 1 more inch of water in this thing. And then we can be done. You can see the bubbles coming out. It actually can't be done because I do have to go get those little plugs and plug it back in here. I don't know if you can see this with the camera, but there's a ton of little just dirt specks all over this chair. I don't know if it, okay, so now, turn this so you can see it. We'll get these little plugs back in there. Come on. Jeez. Kind of as hard to put in as they are to take out. Okay. So that is the Tupelo Loop Chair. Now, you don't want to drag it across the floor of the pool. All right, especially if you had a vinyl liner pool. That's how you buckle the vinyl liner and eventually like rip the liner. So you do have to kind of find a spot to lift this chair. It's water filled. I'd say the front end in this water depth, 11 inches, is now stable now that it's filled. I do see a lot of pictures of Tupelo, even on their own website, where you see the front of the loungers about 1 inch off the pool floor because people didn't fill it enough. So Tupelo Loop Chair, 11-inch water depth. Now let's go to the Tenjam Freelo Chair. So Tenjam specifically designed this chair for in-pool use. Be easy to take in or put in and take out of the pool. The bottom of the product has big holes in the bottom of every leg. There also are these rounded standoffs so that cut porthole doesn't touch the bottom of the pool. For pools like with vinyl liners, that cut hole doesn't touch the vinyl liner. There's a one-way air valve hidden under the handle, the back of the seat. I've got a way to carry this chair, easy to put in a pool. So let's just show you how easy it is with the Tenjam chair in the pool. So here I can just wait for the bubbles to stop. That's it. Now I get over to the sun shelf. I can just put it in place. And now that chair is solid in the 11-inch water depth. So super fast, super simple. Tupelo does not make a chair, or does not make a table that works in water depths over 8 inches. So if you're 8-inch water depth, you're okay, you get a Tupelo table. If you're over 8 inches, no table for you. Tenjam makes a variety of tables. This is just 2 of the tables that Tenjam makes. This one is called the amped table. To put this in a pool, you can simply submerge it. Now this table works up to 10-inch water depth without adding any weight inside of it. Now here we have 11-inch water depth. So I brought a weight. I'm gonna put it here. So if this table, like right now, 11-inch water depth, feels stable, but if you thought you need to add more weight to it, you can just take out the cup holder, add a weight inside of it, put the cup holder back. It's good to go. So it works in this water depth. Same with this table here called the Ripple side table. Works up to 9 inches. If you put a weight inside of it, works up to 15 inches. Open air holes on the bottom and open handle on the side. That's what makes it so fast and easy to take in and out of the pool. And then lastly, we have a Tenjam Moon Chair. Now this chair retails for over $125 less than the Tupelo chair. Significantly wider, has cup holders that you can remove if you want, drain holes in the cup holders, drain holes in the seat, handle in the back, and also a full open bottom. And where that cut line is, there's these little rounded standoffs that actually make contact with the bottom of the pool. When it's time to put this chair into a pool, you just set it down, stabilize it, and it's good to go, okay? This chair works up to 12-inch water depth. When it's time to take the chairs now out of the pool, and lift it up, get that air, get that hole above the water, hold it, drain it, and now you can just swing this onto your patio. And with that open bottom, the air is gonna circulate in it, dry out the core of the chair, and when it's in the water, the pool water is also constantly recirculating and refreshing inside the core of the chair, so it's less prone to ever grow algae inside of it. Same with all these tables, like the amp table, bunch of open air holes. So I take it out, super simple. Freelo chair. The open air holes allow, again, that pool water. That pool water can recirculate inside the chair while it's in the pool, less likely to grow algae. When it's time to take this chair out of the water, simply tilt it forward. Okay, that breaks like this vacuum seal, thanks to this valve. Wait this out for a minute, because right now, the water is draining out of the chair. I can feel on my feet still the water coming out under force through that bottom hole in the leg. Now that that water is done gushing out of there, I can grab this chair by the handle. If I can have it next to the side of a pool if I want, and I could actually just balance it on the side of the pool while it drains. Let it drain out so you're not just having to hold that water weight. You will have to hold it flat for a second, and now it's drained and you can use that chair anywhere on the patio. That chair is 22 pounds empty. This chair has the plugs that have the water inside. So if you have a cover on your pool or any reason why you need to get this chair out of the water once in a while, either you're going to empty it by taking out those drain plugs and trying to get the water out of it. There's no handle on the back or the sides. You kind of have these areas right here, but these are even solid to get your hand in. So you kind of have to maybe get behind it. And this thing's got to be well over 100 pounds. And you could take it out of the pool this way and try to get it where you want it. But that's a backbreaker. And if you had a couple of these chairs, that might kill you. Or you can see the chair has these tiny little air holes on the bottom that are going to drain water. So if you do put it on your patio like that, over the course of the next 30 minutes to an hour, it will just empty itself, okay, through these little holes. But those holes aren't in the corner of the bottom, so it won't get all the way empty. Let's try to get these drain plugs out of here. So I can get these drain plugs back out of here by prying them out. Now these are already getting pretty chewed up just from me prying them out a couple times. So I don't think long term these drain plugs, you can't really depend on these long term because these little connectors around it's already all chewed up. And they do only open up 1/2-inch hole ports right here. So I'm gonna drain this thing for you. Oh, by the way, if you had this in your pool 2 weeks, a month, you don't want the algae growing inside of it, so you need to refresh the water. You don't want that dirty, stagnant water that's been in this thing for a month back into your pool. So you're not gonna sit here like this. You do need to carry this chair off to the back corner of your property or something where you can like let the stagnant water out into the landscaping, but don't put it back into the pool. So right now, this is easy because I'm right next to the pool, just filled it. But this, I think this is probably be careful. This is a very slippery surface. And I think if I let go of this and it landed on my toe, that would be not good. So trying to wait for this thing to drain out of those holes is going to be a while. And the position of those holes is going to be such that it's going to be hard to get that water out of it. I'd say right now, it's still crazy heavy. Yeah, really heavy. So I'm just going to hang on to this thing and we're just going to keep trying to drain. I can't wait to see how long this takes when we roll the footage back. So back to there's products that are designed to be used in a pool. And I think this product was definitely an afterthought. I think it was a product where it was made for the patio, made to look good on the patio, has a high price point, $8.75 delivered. And I think the pool is an afterthought because there's no way anyone thought you could just put this in and out of the pool with 2 little 1/2-inch drain ports that you pry in and out. Those things are going to get beat up over time, not work. And this is just completely ineffective. And if I had 2 of these chairs and I needed to do this because I had a pool cover, I don't want to come out here and do this for 20 minutes or more. Anyway, I'm not even close. I'll just let this kind of... We can still see a lot of water still in here. And it's going to be a while for it to come out. So with the Tupelo chair, now this, we tested an 11-inch water depth. It claims up to 11-inch water depth. It definitely works in that. So that's no issue at all. Same with the Tenjam product. So every product's going to have a maximum depth it can work in. The Tupelo products, I have two more videos actually. One's the Tupelo line chair. So if you're interested in that product, you can watch that video. That's actually a little easier to fill and empty, but still goofy and afterthought to put into a pool and a very high price point. They have another chair called the Bass chair. We had a video where we compared the Bass chair to Tenjam Moon Chair. The Bass chair took quite a while. Again, tiny little drain holes on the bottom of the feet. So they're products that were designed before they ever went into the pool. They just didn't think about filling, emptying, having to change out water. Whereas the Tenjam products, all these big open ports on the bottom, water can constantly recirculate within the product, less chance to grow algae, and just you can flip them into the pool and flip them out of the pool super fast. I could have gotten these chairs in and out of the pool 20 times by the time I do this chair one time. Again, if I had 2 of these, that'd just be a nightmare. With these chairs, if you were to put them on their side and try to let them drain out on their sides, the one thing you have to be careful of is you have to be careful of chewing up the sides. This is this polished surface, and I can already see I just did this one time and I've already got scrape marks on the sides of this product. And there's no handle. So you're relying on water to come out of that little hole, maybe 1/8 of an inch, and that hole maybe 1/2 of an inch. And there's probably a good 100 or more pounds of water in this thing. So it's a long, long wait. It's no fun to fill it, no fun to empty it. So I think we can just keep letting this thing drain. I don't think you guys have to see a lot more. It's going to be a while before this thing's ready to be moved and used on your patio. If you do decide to keep water in it, just know the water won't stay in it. So if I was to bring this over to my fire pit, even if I wanted to lug 75, 100 pounds over to there, over time, through these bottom little tiny air holes that they have. Eventually the water will get out of here, but there'll always be some sort of water trapped in and no air circulation within the core of the product. So there'll always be that moisture stuck in the product, and that can, again, lead to algae growth over time. So now we know the water is lower than this hole. Now what do? You still got a ton of water in here. Beating the hell out of the side of it. My goodness. And then what? Do I wait for the water to come out, think it's all the way out, and then put the plugs back in so I don't lose the plugs? So good luck managing this chair in or around your pool. I think that's good for now. I'll let it just keep pouring out on the pool shelf. Again, Tenjam products, choose them for comfort, easier to use in the pool, easier to take out of the pool, more water depth flexibility. This chair only worked up to 11 inches. Tenjam has a whole range of products that go all the way up to 22 inches in water depth, including tables. That's it. I'm Mike. I'm with Tenjam. I'm out. See you next time.